The spiritual and the natural. All experience has a degree of revelation within it. With the benefit of hindsight, a lot of whys can be answered if we grasp the spiritual revelation that goes with an experience. There's a difference between intellectual knowledge and experiential learning. We could call the intellectual knowledge science lab learning, as a mere mind quest for information. This science lab learning is an artificial environment. Science lab learning deals with hypothetical situations, selected variables, experimentation, and theories of cause and effect. This is different from the learning that takes place with real people and the real believable situations. In the context of real life, we don't have the option of testing several hypothetical situations and inserting different variables of our choice before narrowing it all down to the situation that makes us the most comfortable. We don't always get to choose between door number 1 or door number 2, hypothetical situation number 1 or hypothetical situation number 2. As Christians within the providence of God, we have been given power to create our own reality through our thoughts. For as he, a man, thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23 verse 7. And through our confessions, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. We also live in a world where the sun rises on the evil and the good, and the rain falls on the just and the unjust. Matthew 5:45. Real life experiences can give us a revelatory knowledge better than science lab learning. Information is good and will give us a lot of strength, but it won't answer all our questions. With the blessing of hindsight, we can understand a lot of things if we are willing, because hindsight has a spiritual side that explains the why. If everything has to be defined only in black and white, there are some questions that will never be answered. If we are able to embrace both the spiritual and the natural, then we can understand even the most difficult inquiries. In the book of Daniel, King Belshazzar was desperate to find someone who could read and interpret the handwriting on the wall. The queen told King Belshazzar about Daniel. Said, "There is a man in thy kingdom, in whom is the spirit of the holy gods. In the days of thy father, light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, was found in him. For as much as an excellent spirit, knowledge and understanding, interpreting of dreams, showing of hard sentences, dissolving of doubts, were found in the same Daniel." Daniel 5:11-12. Understanding and showing of hard sentences. The New King James Version translates this into solving riddles and explaining enigmas. In other words, Daniel was a man of understanding who could explain difficult situations. He wouldn't just give part answers. The world doesn't want part answers, readily and easily spoken, but unconvincing, without a lot of thought, shallow, having to do with what is apparent, but not necessarily real. Today, these young generations will quickly be turned off over part answers because they are smart. They live in a world where much information is available and they want answers to hard questions. They want the solution to difficult problems, not just the easy ones. They are looking for the dissolving of doubt. Much of what has been called unexplainable is explainable. Jesus visited me in a very spiritual experience 40 days after the death of my daughter. He encouraged me and instructed me, revealing scriptural reasons behind the tragedies and challenges of life. Through these startling biblical revelations, I learned some of the invaluable whys of life and what we can do to prevent future loss. I was instructed from heaven. When Jesus speaks, remember, the words that I, Jesus, speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. John 6:63. They are alive and full of power. I believe that before something of God manifests in the natural realm, it takes place first in the spiritual realm. The role of the church is to be God's instrument to bring what He has already done in the spiritual realm into the physical world in a tangible way. I believe the Big Why has a role to play in assisting this process.